y'all, and welcome back to another episode of City Sim Builds. This is episode 3 in our Beginner's Guide series. In the previous episode, we expanded the town, more than doubling the population to over 5,000 people. We also added in a lot of new industrial area, as well as expanding our water resources and our power production. A few other things that we did was over here in the new part of town, we added in some new additional city services, such as medical clinics, I think a fire station, and we also provided a couple new parks. The two parks being Battery Park over here, which looks like it has had a fire, and this one over here, which is Cemetery Point Park. In today's episode, I want to expand a few more city services, mainly education is the one I want to focus on. And then I want to extend this road over here somewhere. And the main thing I want to focus in on is this area right here, which is where we're going to create a forest industry. But before we get into today's episode, if you could do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, that would really help me out. Also, leave a comment down below with what you're looking forward to seeing in this series as I advance it further on. And don't forget to hit the like button as well if you're enjoying the video. But with that, let's get into today's episode. Alright, so we just have over 5,000 people, 5,221, and we have a lot of cash to work with, and I want to go in and place a few additional educational facilities, the main one being another elementary school. And for this elementary school, I'm going to bring this road out this way a little bit, and we'll come over a little bit like that, and a little bit on this side as well. And I'm going to place this elementary school right here. I think that's going to be a good fit for us in having that there. So that's going to provide us good coverage on the east side of town, because right now we have just one elementary school over here, and then we have this one over here. And I'm thinking we honestly need another elementary school as well. So I'm going to place one over here towards the middle part of town. And hopefully with that, we'll have a good bit of capacity. Yeah, and you can see that jumped up to be sort of in the midpoint of this green area on our status bar. The other thing that we really need is a university. And for the university, I'm going to place this over here as well. And I want to bring this to be about, let's say right there. As you can see, we have 924 eligible students, and this is going to go a long way in providing a lot of higher educational opportunities for our residents. The other thing I wanted to take a look at was our public libraries. So we have one over here, and that's doing a lot of good in providing coverage for this part of town, but we really don't have one over here, and I want to place one about here. I think that'd be a good spot for it. And before I forget, let's go ahead and run water to both of these facilities right here. And I'm leaving this kind of open like that because I'm not sure how I'm going to tie this in just yet, because I know we're going to expand over here to have our forestry industry. So I want to keep things open right there. The other thing I wanted to do was place another high school over here somewhere. So I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to extend this to here and bring this down and put another high school here. So we're going to have kind of like an educational campus over here. So with our high school, I'm going to place this, I think, right here. I think that's going to be a good spot for us. So that this can have water, I'm going to run water down here as well. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I wanted to take a look at parks as well, because right now we have the two parks over here, and we really don't have anything on the northern parts of our town. So I'm going to go through and place a few standard issue parks that come with the game. And one that always does really well is a dog park. So I'm going to go and place one right here. I think that would be a good spot for that. And I'm curious if we can fit in a smaller park somewhere. Yeah, and I think a botanical garden would maybe look nice right there. Then over here, I'm curious if we can get in maybe a small park somewhere in here. I think that might be a good spot for a small park. And then back over here towards the educational area that we've set up, maybe we can do one of these. I was going to do a tropical garden, but I don't think that's going to fit nicely in this area. Maybe I'll add an additional Japanese garden over here, and then maybe one more dog park. And we'll put the dog park right there. Excellent. So in looking at our coverage, we seem to be doing well. We do have a few areas where we're missing some coverage with our parks. I might use a little bit of eminent domain and place another dog park somewhere in here. And let's see where it might be a good spot. So this is kind of like our main thoroughfare through here. So I'm thinking maybe we'll not put it directly on there. And I'm really trying to shy away from doing this, but I think it'll go a long way in providing a lot of good recreational opportunities for the citizens here. So the other thing I wanted to do was address this situation right here. I'm not really happy with how this looks. I don't really want a highway coming in. I'm thinking I might reserve a highway to come in for this area, maybe somewhere over here. But I think for right now, what I'm going to do is convert this into being maybe like a 6-lane. No, that's probably too intense. Let's just try to do something like a 4-lane road with decorative trees. And maybe we can put in bicycle lanes as well. For this, what I want to do is come down over here and get rid of these segments. And I'm going to pause the game real quick, just for a second. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of all of these segments right here. And then what I want to do is come in here and try to find like the midpoint of where this road might be. Okay, so I'm going to use the curve road tool, and I'm going to come out to the edge here and then bring this in. And then I'm going to do the same thing from here to there. And that's going to give me the midpoint for where I can place this new road. So I'm going to start here and come all the way down here and get that in place. And then now what I'm going to do is get rid of these sections real quick and get a much more sweeping curve to tie these two pieces of roadway up. And now that I'm looking at it, this is a 3-lane section, so I think maybe what I'll do is for lane mathematics, meaning over here we have 3 lanes and it's coming down to 2 lanes. No, actually I'm going to change my mind. I think we're just going to have a lane drop right here. So with that, I'm going to provide a 2-lane one-way section that comes over to about the midpoint there, just like that. And then we'll do a similar sort of thing over here. Okay, perfect. It looks pretty symmetrical. I'm liking that. And then down here, we'll get this to tie in over here nicely. And while I'm here, actually, I'm going to upgrade this road through here, because this is really one of our principal arterials for the city. So I'm going to upgrade this so that we have better access to the industrial area. And for this, we're going to have to, I think, relocate this recycling center. So I'm going to move this to over here, something like that. And then now I should be able to go in and upgrade that road right there. Excellent. All right, so I'm going to make this final connection here, and then I'm going to reconnect up these power lines. Okay, and then all the cars are going to shift over like that and magically use the new road. And I'm liking this road with a bicycle path, and I think I'm going to mirror that right here. On this side, I don't think it makes as much sense because it's a high truck traffic area with a lot of vehicles coming and going that are larger vehicles, like heavy-duty trucks. So I don't think it makes as much sense to have biking facilities over there. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the bicycle facilities all the way down this way. Yeah, and I made one error there that I did not mean to do. So let's go back and fix that one. Okay, excellent. I'm liking that. And also something I'm thinking here, I see I have a few other gravel roads here that I need to upgrade, but I don't know if we really necessarily need a 4-lane road here. But what I'm thinking instead is having one of these 2-lane roads with median trees and bicycle lanes. I think this will look really, really nice through here. And this will provide some different mobility options for us. And it also supports low traffic and will also increase the land values as well. So unfortunately, there are a few houses and businesses that are going away because of this, but they'll come back in stride, I'm sure. Yeah, and I feel like that just looks a lot better. Yeah, I'm liking that much more. And then we'll continue this on over here. Then I have a couple spots over here that I need to take care of. So this unfortunately burned down and I can't rebuild it. So that was a Park Cafe 1. So I'm going to replace that real quick. All right, we added that back in. And then I think I need to temporarily relocate this to right there. And then I can upgrade this roadway segment. Okay, maybe not. I might just need to replace this road here. But that's not a big deal. We'll come back in and then we'll find that guideline. Put that in like that. Perfect. Then I think we need to go back and put in the fence again that got taken away, but that shouldn't be a big deal. So we'll relocate this back to be right there. And then let's find our park fence. And we'll come back in and add this connection again. Okay, good. I think that is looking nice. And we're going to get some regrowth here, and these trees won't look so barren. So yeah, I think that's looking good. And it looks like we don't need maybe this connection. Yeah, I think things are finally connecting over here, so that's good. All right, so I want to go ahead and get this new road placed in. So I want to think about where this is going. So I know I want to have a forestry industry over here somewhere, and I want to have a road that stays pretty much in the same sort of grid pattern that we have, but it's going to have a curve in there somewhere. So I followed this guideline because if you come off here, you can see this guideline meets up right there. So I know I want the road to eventually go there, and I need to meander through here and curve it around to meet up over there like that. So I'm going to turn on the curve road tool, and then I'm going to go to say about there. And then I'm gonna meet up about here, I think, and then we'll come to this roadway guideline, and then we'll meet up at a 90 like that. All right, cool. I think that is looking pretty good. And this is what you call a compound curve. It's when you have like one radius and then a second radius as part of like the overall curve of the road. It sometimes happens in real life when you're constructing or designing a road and constructing it eventually. So in this case, I think it makes sense because I'm trying to preserve this natural rock feature, and I want to also make this curve be kind of gentle and sweeping at the same time. So with that in place now, we can make some connections with our grid up to here, and same thing on this side as well. And we can add in additional residential, which we definitely do need. So I'm gonna bring this up to here, and then we're gonna tie in at a 90 like that. Actually, if I do it that way, I think it's gonna kind of mess things up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do instead is find this node, come out this way, and then join up like that. And then sort of the same thing here. I'm gonna come over here, find our guideline, and then join up like that. Okay, good. I think that's looking pretty good. Excellent. And then over here, I'm gonna come out a little further and provide access a little further down. And then through here, I'm gonna come like this and connect up over like that. As you can see, I'm starting to use roads with bicycle lanes. I think that will go a long way in providing some different transportation options as our town grows. So over here, I'm gonna bring this over. So over here, I'm gonna bring this up, then tie this over like that. Then over here, I'm gonna bring this over to here and come over here like that. And yep, that happened, but that's okay. And this is having a hard time meeting up with this road right here. So I'm gonna see if I can come out this way. No. Yeah, so this I think is just one of those situations. I wonder if I can use the freeform road tool actually. Let's try that. It's a little too extreme. Okay, actually that worked out pretty well. Excellent, excellent. I'm liking that. So over here, I want to be thoughtful about the access that we're providing to this major roadway right here. So right here, I'm going to be using a 2-lane one-way road, and I'm just going to provide access to right here, and then another one that provides access right here. So with this, I'm going to provide access into the city like this, and then over here, I'm going to mirror that by coming up and providing access that goes out like that. And since we did this, we need to look at our traffic. So we'll come to our traffic routes and take a look at our junctions. So I don't want a signal right here. So I'm gonna go in and toggle that off, and then I'm gonna make this a stop sign because I want traffic to be free flow through here like that. Over here, we're having some sort this is like the lane drop situation. Maybe what I'll do is, do we have access to the highways? Yeah, we do. Okay. I think I'm gonna make this change a little further out. So I'm gonna downgrade these to 2-lane coming into the city. Okay, great. I'm liking the way that's looking. And so over here, I'm going to extend this road a little further north. So we'll use our curved road section and come to about here, I think. And then over here, I want to bring this roadway segment somewhere over here. And then over here, I want to see if I can bring this over at a 45-degree angle. And it's curving the road, which I'm not a fan of, but it might be just something that we have to live with. So maybe I'll do something like this. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna bring this down. Actually, I don't think we need that spot right there. Excellent, excellent. All right, so now that we have a lot of this in place, I'm gonna go ahead and start zoning in some residential. And I'm trying to stay a little ways away from the road here because that's gonna have some noise associated with it. And actually, since we have these windmills here, let's check the noise real quick. Yeah, so we're just on the edge of it being an issue for these residents here, so that's a good call. And we don't need this segment right there. And I wonder if we can actually extend our commercial district all the way to over here. And this can act as a bridge for our power lines. And now that I'm thinking about looking over here, I think we have some stoplights that we don't need right now. So let's go into our traffic routes, go into our junctions, then we'll turn these off. And it's putting stop signs in the correct spot. Let's make sure we don't have any other stop situations. Okay, we do have a couple here and there, so we'll get rid of those, and then we'll make these stop signs. Perfect. So we really only have one major traffic signal in town right now, which is right here at this main junction. So let's see if power is connected, and it has. So I'm gonna get rid of these power lines, finally. So I'm gonna go through and remove all of these. Excellent. Okay, so I'm gonna come back over here and zone a little bit more residential. And before this fills in, I wonder if I can get maybe a path through here. I think that might be nice. So I'm gonna come over here to our zoo section and get this decorated like gravel looking path. And then we'll come right there and then meet up, I think about here. I think that'll be okay. All right, and let's zone through here as well. Actually, I'm thinking that putting residential along through here is maybe not the best idea on some of these frontage roads. So let's maybe reserve this for some commercial. Okay, excellent. And we'll include one more road through there just to maximize density. So let's go in and put in some more residential. It's looking good, and we're gonna have to go through and add some water piping. All right, I think that's looking good. And we have low residential, pretty low commercial, and a decent amount of industrial demand. So now what I wanna do is focus on this area. Looks like we have like an old abandoned property here. I'm gonna get rid of that. So that way we have more land area for our forestry industry. And before I place anything over here, I want to go ahead and buy this tile right here, because this is where we're going to be expanding in the future. And it was only $2,900. So let's zoom back in. So now you can see we have this land over here exposed to us, which is nice. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do in placing our forestry industry is go into our districts and paint an industry area. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the largest brush size that we have and come through and paint like that. Okay, that's looking good. Then what I'm going to do is come down and extend this road all the way to say about here. And from here, I'm going to add a road that connects up like that. And we'll come back and fill in some of this area later on. But right now this is named Prospect Sector. Let's maybe rename this the Canarsie Lumber Company. So let's take a look at our area. So we're meeting up right here. I'm probably gonna extend this along this road like that. And the first thing you have to do is place one of these forestry main buildings. So I'm gonna place this somewhere in here. And what I wanna do is use some of our gravel roads to get things started. So I'm gonna come in, I think that was about 20 units or so at $400 for the cost. And so now I'm gonna go in and place one of these, the forestry main building. And once you do that, it unlocks a few different things like a sawmill, a small tree farm, and a small log yard as well. So these are gonna be the first things that we focus on, because with this, you have to have some sort of extractor buildings, meaning like a farm or something like that. Then you have to have a processing building, which would be our sawmill. Then from this, you can go into unique factories. So say you wanted to build furniture, that would be where this would happen. And then at the end, this gets fed to commercial zones and you then get a profit from it. So for the time being, I'm gonna run a power line and I'll follow the road over here. And that'll give us power to the lumber company. And then let's extend our water over here. Excellent. So in looking at the forestry area, you can see right over here when I take my mouse away that that's where like the main focal point of tree production is. So that's where I'm going to place a lot of the tree farms. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a road that comes over here, about something like this. Then I'll come up $620 and then come over and I'll just make a box and we'll see what we can put in the box. So I'm gonna grab some of these small tree plantations. I'm gonna place them along the bottom here. And then I'm curious if I come over, is that, yeah, okay. It's gonna meet up nicely like that. So we have a nice row of tree farms. And so the next thing I want to do is place a sawmill. So I want to maybe place the sawmill in an area that's not as ripe for tree growing, I guess. So I'm going to come over here in this part of the district and place some roads that look like that. Then let's maybe come over here and add in one sawmill because we don't have enough money for an additional sawmill. But that's okay. We'll slowly get some more money from taxes and everything over time, and then we'll be able to build even more throughout here. So with this, you can set all the different tree farms to be like things like alder, beech, or conifer. I think those are the three main ones. And then anytime you select something like this, you can hit this industry area info, and it tells you what you're doing in your industry. So let's speed things up and see how things progress. So right now you can see we have about 100 workers, and that's rising, and our profit is non-existent. We are actually losing money right now, but this is going to change over time, especially as we have more planed timber from the sawmill, which we do not have power to. But let's go ahead and see if we can get a connection over there now that we have additional money to build another sawmill. So let's look at our power. So we're not quite there in jumping, but I wonder if we place one in the middle, if we would be able to. And I think we have enough money actually for 3 sawmills. So I think that might be good. And the power is just not quite jumping. So with that, I'm going to try and place a small log yard, and maybe we'll do that. We'll do that right there. And then if you click on this, it says not enough raw materials. And so what needs to happen is we need to have more workers and more production from the tree farms that can then go into the sawmill to then create plain timber. And part of that is dealing with warehousing. And with that, you have these small log yards. And eventually we'll have like a larger log yard and warehouses and things like that, even sawdust storage to deal with some of the byproducts of the industry. So right now I have it set to balanced, and we aren't actually, there's nothing in here. There's 0 of 300 tons of storage. I think we just really need to let things run here for a little bit, and then we'll see if we can level up to maybe level 2 or 3 and start actually turning a profit. And we're very close. We're only negative $8, so we're getting there. So you can definitely see there's a lot of truck traffic that comes with placing these industries. So that's something we're gonna have to be cognizant of in the future. So what I might do is go ahead and extend this road down just a little bit further to about there, and then I'll add another access point over here. Because right now we're definitely, I think we're importing a lot of, we're definitely importing a lot. You can see the trucks coming in here and dropping off goods and then leaving. So let's see if we can get some sort of circulatory pattern in here. That definitely goes a long way in helping out the traffic with these industries. So I'm going to go in over here and place a gravel road that connects up like that. And then we can extend this road down here for the time being. Oh, and I think I have 2 different road types here. So let's make a change there to get that to be the correct road type. Okay, cool. So we've reached level 2. So now we get things like a biomass pellet plant, a furniture factory, sawdust storage, a forestry workers barracks, and small tree sapling fields. So we can place some of those assets in here now. Now you're starting to see trucks and vehicles use this road over here too, which is great. In an effort to maybe spread out some of the traffic that's generated over here in our forestry industry, I'm going to place another access road right here. And then let's run a road behind these tree farms, and we'll see if we can put some more right here. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and place one of these biomass pellet plants. We'll put that over here in our processing buildings section. Maybe we'll do 2. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Oh, and actually I'm putting sawdust storage. Okay, so I need to actually place the biomass pellet plant. So we'll put that right there. Then maybe what we can do is run a road behind there like that. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. And then we can place a couple of these tree sapling fields. And with these, you can either make it a greenhouse or you can make it a field. So we'll do 2 greenhouses and 1 field. And I know we need water through this portion right there. And might as well go ahead and do this one while we're at it. So now that this is full, I'm going to set this to empty. And then what that's going to do is it's going to feed our sawmills and our biomass pellet plant. And I'll go ahead and add a little bit more of a roadway network through here. just to provide different opportunities for these trucks coming in. And let's take a look at how the industry is performing right now. So right now we are almost to level 3. We're a little over halfway there, between 2 and 3. We're not turning a profit yet, but we hopefully will soon. We are producing 8 tons and oh wow, and that jumped up to 23. Excellent. So that means we're on the way to hopefully turning a profit pretty soon. So right now we're sending most of the raw materials out in this output section here. 3 of the 45 tons are going to paper, 9 of the 45 tons are going to plain timber. Let's see if we can do something to help out. Oh, now we're turning a profit. Excellent. So now we're making $1,304 a week, and this is just going to hopefully continue on into the future. But in order for that to happen, we have to keep growing the industry. Capitalism. So maybe we'll place a few more small log yards, and actually let's take a look at some of the warehousing. So we can do a warehouse yard. Maybe we'll place a warehouse yard or 2 here. And when you place these, you have to go in and set the actual stored resource type. So I'm gonna go in and put plain timber for this one, and then over here, let's see, we'll do zoned industry forestry products. All right, excellent. So we have reached level 3. And with this, now we can have a printing press, a medium tree plantation, and a large log yard. That's great. So let's go and take a look at some of the new assets that we have. I want to see how big the medium tree plantation is. So let's see if we can place one of these. So if we place it here, we're going to have a little bit of extra space in our roadway network. I'm curious if we place 2 there. Yeah, we still have 2 tiles worth of buffer in between. And that's fine. That's fine. So I think here, what I'm gonna do is place this one facing the back row, and then, yeah, and then over here, I'm gonna place another one right there. Then maybe we can fit a small tree farm right in here. Oh, cool. And we just reached small city. So now we have a population of 7,000. We get more unique buildings, and we have access to trains and monorails and cable cars. And with that, we get things like a cargo train terminal and a train station and cable car stops. We also get a few more park amenities and a hydroelectric dam as well. So that's really awesome. 7,000 people. That's pretty amazing. So we'll put that there. That's looking good. And then in these areas that kind of like are empty because of just the way the roadway network kind of shaped out, what we can do is go in and put some trees. And one of the trees I like to put just to give like a little bit of space is like these oaks, because I feel like they provide a decent amount of coverage and fills in the gaps pretty nicely. And this is an instance where I wish we had the prop line tool as like a built-in thing in the game. That's a mod where you can like just run a line of trees in one click, and it's really awesome. So, but yeah, I think things are looking pretty good now. Let's take a look at our industry info. So now we're back in the negative, but I think we could get there by maybe we can make some changes with policies. So we can do a few things like improve logistics. Let's click that. Improve work safety supervision. Let's go ahead and do that. And advanced automation. Sure. So we'll try all the policies out and see if that will help things out in our industry. And now that we have the industry in place, one of the things we can do is come over here to the unique factories tab and place a unique factory. And these take up quite a bit of space. So I'm thinking about where I want to place one of these. So this is the furniture factory. So maybe I'll put that right here. And then here we have a printing press, and this is a little bit smaller. And I think that'll fit in nicely right there. Okay, perfect. That's looking good. And I wonder if we can fit in a few more tree farms right here. I think we can. So let's go back over here, get our small tree farm, and then I'm gonna put these on the side roads so they load a little bit more efficiently. And I think here we can fit one, and then here we can fit one more as well. Okay, cool. That's looking good. So now we're turning a profit of almost $2,000 a week. That's really good. Oh, now it jumped down to 210. So the thing is with these industries and the industries DLC, you have a lot of fluctuation. And once things become stable, then it's more predictable. But right now we're growing and there's a lot of changes. There's trucks coming and going that are causing supply chain issues locally, and there's maybe a little bit of production issues, things like that. So this fluctuates around quite a bit, but I think on the whole, we're doing pretty well with our industry right now. So one thing we need actually with this is plastic. So I'm going to turn this building off for right now because we don't have an oil industry. But with the furniture factory, we have both of the goods that we need to start really producing stuff. We have plain timber and plenty of paper. So that's great. I might add one more sawmill in since it looked like we were a little bit low on plain timber. And we'll put that sawmill right there. And I also forgot to place one of the forestry workers' barracks. This increases the worker efficiency and it provides a place for workers to live on site. So I think that's pretty good. Maybe we can place this back over here somewhere. Yeah, I think something like that. That would be good. Oh, and I just placed a sawmill. That's not what I intended to do. Whoops. Okay. All right. Maybe I can relocate this to next door. Actually, let's move this down to say about there. And then I'll actually place the the barracks right now. So the barracks is actually kind of big. So I'm gonna put that right there. Okay, excellent. And I think it's logical to continue the road through there like that. Then maybe we continue this one over here, then up this way. Yeah, I think that is looking really, really good. That's a solid start to a lumber company. So one of the considerations with this is noise. So we can zone residential over here. Oh, and I see we have a trash problem. So that sometimes you play the game like this and you get sucked into something that you're doing and you forget all about the city that's providing you your workers and everything. So we need to take care of the trash problem. And the way I'm going to do that is by placing a incineration plant. And I'm going to do that over here. So I think that should be good. Maybe I can put another one in right there. We have plenty of money right now, and I think that will go a long ways to helping our garbage processing status. And honestly, we probably need a third one. Yeah, let's place one right here. And that should really, really help things out. I want to take a look at our traffic and make sure things are okay with that. Yeah, so we're still like 91%. So that's good. That's good. So some of this trash issue situation is going to resolve itself. And you can see these little trash cans disappearing over time. All right, so right now we're on the cusp of a level 4 industry, and I think the main thing is workers. Oh, yep, and we just got level 4. Excellent. So now we get an engineered wood plant, we get a soft paper factory, a wood chip storage, and a forestry main building and large sapling fields. So excellent. I think before I do any of that, I'm going to add a little bit more residential in on this side of town. So I'm going to select this road and continue it on a little ways. And then maybe what I'll do is, let's check our terrain as we're doing this. I think it should be relatively flat. Yeah, it's pretty flat through here. So I think we can continue this straight for a little bit, but then once we get here, maybe we start to turn. And actually, before I do that, I want to place in this road over here that comes across. Something about like that. Then we can go ahead and grid out this section. Okay, and that's lining up nicely. Perfect. Perfect. I'm liking that. I'm liking it. Okay, so let's select this road again, and then we'll continue it on, and then maybe we can curve it up here like that. And let's back that up a little bit so we can get a more clean connection. Let's do something like that for the time being. Actually, no. Let's continue it on straight. I'm not liking the way that's looking. And I placed the wrong road. So let's go and upgrade this to be to match what we have over here with the bike lanes. We can put in a little bit of commercial. Why don't we do some commercial between the forestry industry? Oh, not high density. That's not what I meant to do. Whoop, 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 whoop. Sorry. All right, sorry. Bye. Sorry. Not ready for high density stuff yet. I'm gonna leave these open just in case, but I think I want to have a buffer around the industry over here. So something like this. Great. And then let's check our fire coverage. So we definitely need some fire coverage over here. I'm gonna place that in real quick. Might do another one right there. Then I know we're gonna need one over here with the industry. I might even do 2. All right, and that's definitely got us covered. It's gonna be quite the expense with the fire coverage, but I think things will be fine in the long run. So let's get water pipes in here. So we'll place these underneath the roads and then bring this back over here. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Excellent. So right now we're a little over 200 workers shy of reaching our next milestone. So I think I'm gonna continue the residential down through here like that. And then maybe what I'll do is provide a path through here, since we have like a gap that it just looks like it's begging for a path. First, I'll add in some commercial right there, and then let's get the path in place. And I'm gonna turn off the roadway guidelines for a second. Line that up there. Oh, and let's make that a straight section. And I'm just kind of eyeballing this loosely. And then I think now we might have power that's jumping over here. So I think I'm gonna try, let's check real quick. Yep, we do. So we can get rid of this power line. All about getting rid of these transmission lines, if we can. Okay, perfect. Oh, and we do need water. We do need water. That's very important. Turn back on our roadway guidelines real quick. Make that connection. Excellent, and that's looking really good. And let's complete our path. Okay, nice. I'm liking that. And I'm realizing we're probably gonna need at least one access point in between right there. So, and we honestly probably don't need this one. So let's get those paths back in place where I ended up breaking them. Okay, good, excellent. So let's place some residential in here. That looks good. I think while this is filling in, I'm gonna place a few more trees that's kind of like lining the industrial area. The other benefit of placing trees like this is that it provides a sound buffer. It's a good way to landscape and kind of like mark off a place as like a entity, you know what I mean? And but also, you know, provides like a sight distance buffer, and it also creates a like almost like a little natural noise wall. And then I'm thinking maybe behind all these buildings here, I'm gonna place a path. Yeah, I think that would look nice. So let's grab our favorite path and come along. I think are we taking out a building? No, okay. Okay, we're good. Okay. I keep thinking we're taking out a building when I go past them, but everything should be fine. Okay, and then through here, I'm gonna place some more trees. And I'm really liking these oaks for this sort of thing. Okay, that's looking good. So now if we zoom out, we can see we've kind of, you know, marked off the area that is the tree farm. I should say lumber company, actually. So I'm gonna place a few more right here. Cool, I'm liking the way that's looking. And I think for this industrial area, I'm gonna do something similar to what we did over here. So let's select our one-way roads. So I think over here, I'm gonna provide direct access onto the road, and then over here, maybe we can have access coming off like that. Let's see if that makes sense. Yeah, so here here we have going on, and here we have going off, and then the opposite here, going on and then going off. So I think that makes logical sense. Do we have traffic signals here? That is something I'm curious about, and we do, and I don't want them here. So let's cut those off, and let's see if we do have a few more down here. I'm gonna remove these and put stop signs. We're not at the point yet where we need traffic signals. Let's take a look at our traffic. Yeah, we're at 92%, so things are still okay, traffic-wise. Oh, and looks like we're missing some water over here, and we have a water production issue, but that should be pretty easy to fix. Let's go in and add another water pump right here. And we'll connect this up to that one. And then it looks like we need maybe another water treatment center. So we'll put in another eco inland water treatment facility. And since we have the money, I'm gonna put in 2. Perfect, that's looking really good. Our landfill is full, so I'm gonna send some of the garbage here to be incinerated and hopefully recycled. And that's got me thinking, I don't think I actually have taken a look at policies yet. So let's go into Corner C and go to our policies, and let's turn on recycling. Maybe we can turn on parks and recreation too, because right now we have a really healthy profit margin in terms of our city. So I think we could enact some policies that would be very beneficial to our citizens. Then maybe for right now, since we don't have a postal service, we can do free Wi-Fi. That might cost a lot. We'll come back and reassess that because it's 2 cents per building. So we'll keep an eye on the budget and see how things play out there. But what I'm realizing also is that we haven't expanded the actual district for Corner C. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll go ahead and include the lumber industry as part of that. And that's something else worth mentioning. You can overlap districts like this. So we'll go ahead and just zone out this whole area for future expansion, something like that. Okay, I think that is looking really, really good. Let's check in on the industry. Somehow we've lost workers, so that's interesting, but we do have a high residential demand. So maybe that's worth thinking about some of the residential that we have down here. Maybe we could convert this to some high density usages. So unfortunately, whenever you want to upgrade to a high residential zone, you have to de-zone what you already have and then go in and place a high density zone. So I'm going to do that for a couple commercial spots and a few residential spots as well. So we'll start with these 6 little blocks here. And you can see they start to go away and it's sad and everything. But now that you have that in place, you can go back and replace some of the housing that you just displaced, I guess. Same thing with the businesses. And as you can see, we have like a little bit of a negative population trend, but that's going to change here in a second. And I think now that we've upgraded our water, we can get rid of this water tower. So I'm going to remove that and place a few more homes. So now we're starting to get some high density residential in here with these towers. And right now it says 10 of 10 households are full in there. And here it's 3 of 7. And some of these buildings are starting to upgrade as well. So this just went to a level 2. So yeah, things are looking pretty good. And our population is back on the up and up, which is also very good. I don't think I put in some zoning over here, so I'm going to do that. Then I think over here along the shore, maybe I'll place some residential as well. And I'm going to reserve this area over here. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm thinking I'm going to add a train terminal at some point. And since we have the cash, we eventually have to connect up over here anyway. So I'm going to buy a couple pieces of land over here. So I think we can buy at least 2. So I'm gonna start with this one just in case, and it's 6,700, and we have over $1 million. So I think we're fine there. Then I'm gonna buy this one as well. Okay, and that's all the land that we can purchase for right now. And then down here, I'm gonna add a little bit more residential. All right, that's looking good. Let's see how this fills in. And it looks like we have some additional space over here for some more tree farms, so I'm going to put some in. So we have these large tree farms, and I think this will go perfectly right in here in a couple spots. So not quite full coverage there, but I think we can maybe... Sorry, I meant medium tree farms. So I think through here, I'm wondering if we can get just a few more bits and pieces. Maybe we can do an engineered wood plant. Maybe that can go right there. And they're probably going to need some more storage. So let's put in a small log yard right there. And then, yeah, I think the larger ones are too big. Maybe I'll put a couple right here. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And I think I can still fit in what I want to over here. What I'm thinking is doing like a cargo train terminal right here and then having rail that runs behind over here and then eventually cuts over and meets back over here with a new rail bridge right there. At least that's what I'm thinking. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And I think I might actually add a few more high density residential areas through here. Since we have such a high residential demand, I'm not really ready to build over in this part of the map yet. Okay, cool. We just set level 5. Excellent. So with this, we get a pulp mill and a modular house factory and a large tree farm. Excellent. And that's really what I wanted to accomplish today. I do want to get these last little bits of zoning in place. So I do want to see if we can preserve some of this commercial on the corner here. So I'll place a high density version there. We have a low density version there. So let's see kind of how that looks in the future. And then if we need to go in between one or the other, then we can do that. And then here we'll put a nice little spot of high density commercial. All right, that's looking really, really good. I'm liking this. Excellent. Okay, this is done emptying, so we can stop emptying. And let's take a look at back at Carnacy Lumber Company. So right now we're turning a profit of $6,400 a week. That's great. We have around 840 workers, and we're just producing a ton, like 61 tons. And we have a lot of paper products and plain timber. And then we also have this furniture factory, which is giving us some additional profit in creating furniture as well. So with that, I think it's going to do it for today's episode. We've done a lot. We've really expanded the town here, and we added this forestry industry. So I'm really pleased with how things are turning out with this tutorial. If you have any questions or anything, please leave a comment down below and just give me your feedback in general. I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. But with that, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button and also like the video as well. That really helps me out. So I'll be seeing you all back here in Karner C in a little bit. So stay tuned for future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.